Hey everybody, Jennifer Schaus here. We're coming to you live from Washington, D.C. today, and this is our final webinar in the Big Tech in Federal Government Contracting webinar series. We've covered, 14 companies so far. Today is the 15th company. It's Salesforce. Our email blast that went out today was incorrect. I think we had listed Oracle, but we are covering Salesforce today. Oracle was last week. And let's go ahead and start our webinar. So today's webinar, as all of our webinars, are recorded and complimentary. You can find them on our YouTube channel. If you click on that link, you'll then be subscribed to the channel and you'll get notifications whenever we upload new webinars. Again, they're all complimentary. A little bit about us. We are based in DC and been working with government contractors for over 20 years with a primary focus on contract vehicle support, more specifically GSA schedules, VA schedules, FedLink, and more. In the event that your company is selling to federal contractors, we have a variety of options for advertising and sponsoring our events. If you are interested in this, just send us an email to the hello@jenniferschaus.com and we will send you our media kit. Here's some of the vehicles that we can help with. And let's go ahead and talk about the series. So again, we started this back in September. Every Wednesday, we covered a big tech company. Again, everything's complimentary and recorded. You can find the recordings on the YouTube channel. If you're looking for the PowerPoints, they're over on SlideShare. That's also complimentary. You can log into SlideShare with your LinkedIn credentials. And again, that will give you access to all 700 plus PowerPoints that we've accumulated over the years. Here's a look at the companies that we've covered. These will go onto they are on our website with the links to the recording. And today, as mentioned, we're covering Salesforce. Our data providers, so how do we get this data and what kind of happens behind the scenes to make today come to fruition is we work with Archiza Meehan over at Fed Consult. We're very lucky to have her. And our friends at GovSpend, where Archiza once was. And I'll tell you about GovSpend. That company provides government procurement data and analytics to organizations buying and selling in the public sector. With transparency and accountability at the center of what GovSpend does, they strive to place data-driven insights into the hands of federal, state, local, and education customers so that they can win more government contracts. The federal solution, which is the FedMind platform, harnesses data from 19 federal sources and empowers federal agencies to seamlessly explore the market, gain valuable insights through comprehensive spending analysis, and access detailed vendor profiles in real time. And we also want to thank our in-kind sponsors and partners. These companies and organizations help us to promote our webinars and events, GovEvents. You can find all of our webinars and events on govevents.com, as well as the recordings. The Fairfax County Economic Development Authority has an online calendar, which is very helpful for companies that are selling to the government. And you can find all of our events and webinars on the Fairfax County calendar, which is outward facing. Set Aside Alert, we want to thank Tom Johnson and his team. That's the go-to publication for contracting opportunities for small women-owned, veteran-owned, hub zone, and 8A firms. Visit setasidealert.com for more information. We also want to thank the Virginia Apex Accelerator. That is the local accelerator here in the DC metro area. They're co-located at George Mason University in Fairfax. They offer training, counseling, mentorship, matchmaking events for small businesses that want to work with the government. You can click on their counseling link or check out their calendar to find out what they are doing. Our corporate sponsors are the companies that you see listed here, and their sponsorship allows this webinar series to be complimentary. So please take a moment to visit them. Let me tell you a little bit more about each of them. FedBiz Access. FedBiz Access empowers small businesses with the tools, resources, and expertise needed to succeed in the federal marketplace. With over 23 years of experience, the team has helped clients secure over $34.7 billion in awards. They guide businesses through the complexities of government contracting with innovative marketing solutions, personalized support, and a steadfast commitment to your success. By fostering strong relationships and delivering exceptional results, they've become a trusted partner for businesses seeking to expand their federal contracting opportunities. Experience the FedBiz Access difference and unlock your potential today. You can call them direct at the phone number you see there on their screen. If you are thinking about getting in on big tech contracts with Department of Defense, you need to prepare for CMMC. Compliance could be a requirement as soon as the spring of 2025, so it's important to start now. No matter where you are in the process, whether you're still in the planning mode or you've started and stopped, C3 can help. C3 provides a prescribed path to compliance that relieves 80% of all your CMMC Level 2 assessment objectives, including 100% of all IT-related objectives, and supports you through the remaining 20%. Ensure your competitive advantage, lock in valuable DoD contracts, and get started with CMMC today. Contact C3 for more information by visiting their website. FedPub Seminars. For over 65 years, Federal Publication Seminars has been the premier provider of government contracts training, widely regarded as the industry's gold standard. Expert-led courses offer comprehensive education for all levels, from beginners to advanced professionals, covering essential up-to-date topics crucial to government contracting. The 2025 course schedule is now available. Learn more about FPS and their training solutions at fedpubseminars.com. R. Turner Consulting. R. Turner Consulting is a GovCon growth consultancy delivering the full spectrum of business development, capture, and proposal services from a team of experienced consultants led by Robert Turner. The firm's offerings include fixed price IDIQ proposals, curated market intelligence delivering scalable pipeline support, FPDSplus.com, a free GovCon procurement data analytics application, and RFQ Plus AI, which is an AI-driven subscription service delivering qualified IDIQ task orders to your inbox with your own personal AI assistant. Bid smarter and win more. Contact R. Turner Consulting today. GovPro AI. GovPro AI is revolutionizing government contracting. They transform your past proposals into a powerful AI engine, delivering customized pink team drafts in just 48 hours. By cutting drafting time by 70% and reducing costs by half, GovPro AI allows you to focus on what truly matters: strategy and win themes. Their human-in-the-loop approach ensures compliance and quality while seamlessly integrating with your existing processes. Built by GovCon experts for GovCons, they truly understand your challenges. Boost your win rates and expand your federal business. Visit GovPro AI today. WorkPlan. WorkPlan is a modern cloud-based ERP system hosted by Amazon Web Services. It allows federal contractors to efficiently run and grow their business. It was built by contractors for contractors. WorkPlan allows federal contractors to remain FAR and DCAA compliant. Additionally, it allows remote access through desktop, cell phone, iPad, or laptop. Gain actionable insights from reports that cover multi-year contracts, multiple periods, and entire enterprise, or drill down for more detail. Report on direct and indirect project cost and project profitability in real time. Learn more or request a demo at workplan.com. Okay, those are our sponsors, and we want to thank them. They've been with us for the duration since September, and again, because of them, this series is complimentary to you. My co-speaker is Archiza Meehan, who has been with us for the duration and several years back. Archiza, it's great to have you with us, and I'll let you say a few words here.
Oh, it's always nice to be here, and I can't believe this is going to be the last of the big tech and federal government, and we're going to talk about Salesforce today. But thank you for having me here. For those who don't know me, my name is Archiza Meehan. I'm founder of Fed Consult, and we specialize in working with government contractors and help them understand their market and help them with getting the right insights to grow their business. So thanks, Jennifer.
Great, thank you, Archiza. Great to looking forward to hearing what we're going to learn here on Salesforce today. And thanks for being with us through the duration and pulling the data and putting all this together. There's a lot that happens behind the scenes to make these webinars possible. So as you guys know, we're covering Salesforce today. Some basic company information, which we just pulled from their website, and we try to grab as much public sector information as possible to make it relevant to you. So these are just some screenshots to let you kind of know what they're doing with their tool, their CRM tool for the actual government. As you can imagine, there's probably, well, a variety of mechanisms that the government at federal as well as state, local, if you think of like Department of Motor Vehicles and these sort of outward-facing public-facing entities within the government where they would use a tool like this. Again, just some more screenshots telling you a little bit more about what they're doing in the public sector. And then hear more on the, as I mentioned, motor vehicles and some HHS work at some of the, at the county level. Some case studies here. Again, if you're thinking about working with Salesforce as a subcontractor, teaming partner, joint venture, something along those lines, we encourage you to jump on their website and spend as much information as possible to learn what you can so that you can have intelligent conversations with them. The more you know, the more equipped that you're going to be. So here's their information as it correlates to FedRAMP and some documents that you can download there through their AWS platform. On the AI initiatives, here's just more screenshots. This is not specific to the public sector. This is just their general AI. I couldn't find anything specific to public sector, but perhaps it exists somewhere. Their AI tool is called Einstein Copilot. So again, we encourage you to take a look and learn as much as you can before you decide to dig in and start having conversations with them. As far as LinkedIn, the main site is in fact Salesforce, obviously in the San Francisco area. And then they also have a government page on LinkedIn, but obviously they're directing you over to Salesforce and Dreamforce. And then affiliated pages, which we always encourage you to take a look at. You'll see that some of the companies here that they've acquired dating back to 2021. One is Spiff, the other is Lenato SA, South America, I believe that is. And then you'll learn about some of their acquisitions, other acquisitions as well. This list of affiliated pages on LinkedIn goes on fairly deep. So again, just be cognizant of the other subsidiaries and entities that are associated with Salesforce or whatever company it is you're looking at. We hop over to Yahoo Finance to look at their stock price. They're traded on the NASDAQ. Actually, I thought it was New York. Anyway, and their top 5 institutional stockholders are kind of your repeat stockholders from the previous 14 webinars. So as you see here, their current price is fairly healthy. And then if we go back in time to the inception of Salesforce, you can see that they really gained their momentum probably around 2017 or 18 and have had some peaks and valleys along the way. Again, we're not encouraging anyone to purchase their stock or not purchase it or sell it or anything along those lines. These are just giving you a higher level picture of the company. We hop over to opensecrets.org, which is a publicly available website. Doesn't cost you anything to get this information to look at kind of the money that they spend on lobbying. It's a little bit smaller than what we've seen from the previous 14 companies. But big growth as far as what they're investing in lobbying around the 2016 timeframe, which is kind of correlates to their stock price. Is there any, what sort of conclusions can we draw from that? I think you would need to dig in a little bit further to the data as well as external factors that were happening in the world. But 2023 was the most amount of money that they spent, close to almost 4 million, but we'll soon to find out what happened for 2024. Okay, now we're going to turn the reins over to Archiza. She's going to talk us through the federal government data. And Archiza, the floor is all yours.
Perfect, thank you. So again, this is Salesforce Inc.'s registration or SAM UEI in the SAM database. One of the things that we've consistently noticed through a lot of these tech companies is that we might not see a lot that the company is winning directly as a prime, but then we do see either a very robust subcontract performance, or when we start doing keywords, we start seeing a lot more, and we get a better understanding of what is it that Salesforce actually is doing within the federal government. So next slide, when we go to Salesforce, they actually don't do much directly under Salesforce Inc. They have a small contract that they won at the State Department, which was for Tableau licenses. So just to give you an idea. Next slide, I want to say we'll have the next slide, please. The industry codes, again, no surprises, 541, 511. And under PSC codes, we see other professional services. So this is what Salesforce has won directly under the Salesforce SAM UEI. If we go to the next slide, I'm going to go directly into the subcontracts that Salesforce has won. You could see that they are actually working really well with companies such as ICF, Perspecta, Accenture, Massachusetts, and the National Government Services was earlier. But these are just some of the subcontracts that they have. Again, it's under the prime contracts that these organizations have. These are self-reported, but I think definitely gives us a good understanding of the type of work that, or the licenses that are being used, or where Salesforce's platform is being used across or by these companies for implementation. If I go to the next slide, you could see the various agencies that Salesforce platforms are being used. And again, a lot of civilian agencies, not much DoD, just a tiny bit as a subcontractor with Air Force. If the next slide is going to give us a quick look at the various NAICS codes that these subcontracts are under, R&D, and a lot of computer related. So mainly the 5.4 and 5.1 NAICS codes, which sort of ties in with what we see with a lot of these tech companies. The next slide also gives us a quick look at some of the subcontracts that Salesforce has awarded. Now, this is where it gets to be pretty interesting. You will say, how are they awarding subcontracts when we didn't really see a good prime contract, right? So these subcontracts actually are awarded because some time ago, I want to say in 21, and we'll reach that point, so Salesforce bought a company called Acumen Solutions, which has quite a few prime contracts, and so these subcontracts to these companies are for Salesforce integration and implementation services. And again, you could see Vector, you could see Argana, which is again for Salesforce implementation. So let's go to the next slide. And this is where we're going to have a quick look at Acumen Solutions that was acquired by Salesforce in FY21 and actually has some of the prime contracts that we yet see them winning. If we go to the next slide, just to give you a quick overview, this is the robust, you could see that they purchased Acumen in 2021. And we slowly see the transition of these contracts and implementations, but definitely again sort of ties in and gives you a good understanding that Salesforce is pretty strong on the within the civilian agencies. They've done work at Homeland, Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, the Executive Office of the President, the VA, and then also some work at HHS and State Department. The next slide gives you a quick look at the subcontracts that Acumen has won, which is now part of Salesforce. But again, they've won work with ASRC, Booz Allen, and CGI. So that's, I just want to make sure that we covered both the organizations when we talk about Salesforce. So again, as we look at all these tech companies, it always makes sense to look at what happens when you use a keyword. In this case, I have just used Salesforce, but keep in mind that Salesforce has acquired a few companies over the past, including Tableau. And I would always recommend do keywords, not just Salesforce, but specific solutions and products that, Salesforce or another IT company that you're understanding is using or selling. So overall, we could see that Salesforce has grown pretty well over the past few years, from $404 million in not Salesforce, but where the Salesforce products are being used, has definitely grown over the past few years, from $404 million in 2021 to almost $580 million in 2024. We might see this number go up a little bit. We yet have a few more weeks before all the DoD data is made public. But let's go to the next slide and delve a little deeper into these. And this is where you could actually see, sort of ties in with all the other information that we talked about. Salesforce, definitely the civilian agencies are prime, is where we see a lot of Salesforce products and solutions being used. Treasury, HHS, agriculture, State Department. And I think when you see the large numbers, chances are that that's where a lot more of the implementation's happening. And then it gets into that maintenance mode, if I can say that, or just the licenses, things like that. So good look at what the civil agencies are doing. If I go to the next slide, I'll go into the DoD agencies.
Yeah, and I was just going to point out just some big numbers that the highest revenue is fiscal year 23 with the VA, 100 and almost 200 million. So that obviously kind of makes sense considering the nature of their work. And then kind of behind that, what is it, Commerce, 64 million. I'm curious, maybe just some of their international trade programs where they're dealing with various vendors, and then obviously Homeland Security, which we talked about, and Treasury has a big number there in 2024. So there's some big big numbers on here, as well as agriculture too. So
Commerce actually was through Software Information Resource Corp, and it was for sales for licenses and applications and licensing support, Salesforce support. So obviously they've done some major Salesforce work there. As also, it's always interesting to see that.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
Yep. And then the next slide takes us into the DoD agencies. Again, you don't see it as much as we saw on the civilian, but you've got Air Force, Navy, Army, all of them doing pretty robust, awards for Salesforce solutions. And again, when I look at the Navy, it is for, we see the largest part going with Sterling, and it's for CRM Salesforce software. So a lot of CRM solutions, a lot of Tableau, MuleSoft, these are all the solutions that are being implemented across the federal agency.
Yeah, I wonder if they use it as a recruiting tool and that sort of thing. I don't know.
I don't know. I think they build a lot of solutions to offer it. So,
okay.
Yeah, I believe. And then, of course, we see some, work with the independent agencies, with General Services Administration, NASA, even the small business, so even the SBA. So it's always interesting. I honestly sometimes wish that we would see a lot more transparency in terms of the descriptions, that is made public. But it is sometimes just things like Salesforce support services, community navigators pilot, things like that. So it really would help companies that are trying to get a better understanding to investigate further and wherever possible, actually try and get into an RFP that is connected to the award if that was made public and not awarded on a GSA schedule or something. That would always be helpful.
Great.
And then I did a quick look at just, for Salesforce and FY24, awards were awarded to, I missed a number there. I missed the, it should be 579 million, but I'll fix that before we make it public. But it was awarded to 76 companies, almost 39% was awarded as other than small businesses, which sort of makes sense when you start looking at the top primes. Carasoft, as everyone knows, is a very big reseller. So more than 182 million was awarded to Carasoft for Salesforce awards, followed by Lancer, V3Gate, Sterling Computers, Software Information Resources. So a lot of companies that we've seen, in the past during the 15 series, big tech series. So, and if I go to the next slide, you could see, the various NAICS codes, a lot of 5.4 and 5.1 series NAICS codes where these awards are where the contracts are being awarded. But then I also thought it's interesting to see, there is a lot of small business set-asides as also 8A sole source contracts that are being awarded. So just to give you a quick look and perspective into what's being awarded.
Great.
And then, of course, we always want to end with our Exhibit 53s. There are, I know on Jennifer's website and YouTube channel, there are quite a few webinars that have been done about Exhibit 53s and IT services. So definitely keep an eye. If you are selling technology, I'm always going to encourage everyone who's on the call to please pay attention and to the Exhibit 53s that are out there. And just gives you a lot of really good information on how these projects are doing, what is it that the federal government is buying, and how are these projects evaluated, and what stage are they. So definitely would recommend companies to pay attention to those. But these are just some of the top 10 exhibits that use the word Salesforce. They could be things within the Department of Agriculture, as you can see, and that sort of ties in where we saw agriculture being in one of the top top awards when we looked at Salesforce. So, and a lot of these are, like award management information systems, but there's a Salesforce license component or, things like that. And I think that is it.
Yeah, great. And as far as federal sector news, there's plenty of news, but as far as related to government and specifically federal, not state and local, this is really kind of what we found, which is not a lot. So you probably just want to dig in a little bit deeper into some of the federal publications, Federal News Network, GovExec, and others, just to see if there's anything else that you have found that we have not. Some of these are a little bit dated, but that was pretty much it. This wraps up our series. Again, thank you to Archisa. Thanks to everybody who has joined us and stuck with us for all 15 webinars. Again, we want to thank FedMind and the FedMind platform via GovSpend. Thanks to Fed Consult, thanks to all our sponsors who made the series possible. Next year, we're going to dig back into, kind of switch gears in a very different direction and cover the DFARS, so the Defense Federal Acquisition Regulations. We'll have that up on our website, and everybody will get an email on where to go to sign up for that webinar series. Again, today's webinar was complimentary and recorded. Find it on our YouTube channel. In the event you're listening to this on YouTube, give us a like, leave a comment. We would love to hear from you. And that's it. Thanks again, Archisa, and thanks
Thank
to you and all your hard work.
Thank you so much. Always nice to support you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.